Hi, this is David from Lights on Abbey. Today we're working out in the shop and we're going to build a box that chills fog to make it stay low to the ground. A lot of you have these. This is another rendition of the many you may have seen on YouTube, but hopefully this will clear up any confusion or provide you some ideas on how you can make one. Stick around, let's get it done. So here's the items I'm going to use today to build the low fog box. Get yourself a tote. I chose this one from Home Depot. I liked it because it has latches to hold the lid down and it has a rubber seal which will keep all the fog going through the hose and you won't have any leakage. Latches all the way around. It is a little pricey, but it's what I chose to use, and you use what you want and you'll get the same result, I'm sure. You're going to use PVC. This is 3-inch PVC with some elbows. You're going to end up cutting holes in the top here, and the PVC will go through that and into the box and transfer it to where the cold air is. I chose to use a bilge pump, or excuse me, a bilge fan. There's different sizes and different speeds. This is 270 CFM. You can get a smaller one, it's up to you. I chose to get the larger one and put a variable motor control in the box so I can slow it down if I want. If you get one of these bilge fans, one thing you might want to know to do is drill some weep holes in the bottom, because you're going to be pulling moisture out and you just don't want it to set in the fan or spit in your hose, so that'll allow it to seep out. Fan motor goes through here and it's bolted down to the mount. The mount goes on the end of the box here and just held in with 2 screws, and then the fan goes through the hole that's cut right there, and it allows it to pull the fog out and put it into a hose out in your yard. I also chose to use ultrasonic mister, which creates cool air in the box, which will keep the fog low. You can use ice if you want. If you don't want to use the mister, either way works. I pre-built the box out once. I didn't like where some of the holes were drilled when I ended up finishing it, so I got a second box. I'm going to redo it and give you a chance to see how to build this out. The box has 110 in. It comes into an outlet in here. The outlet powers the power supply for the fan motor and the power supply for the ultrasonic mister. In here is also, that's the fan speed control I was talking about. I use that to change the CFM how I feel is needed. And then we have power out, and that's where you plug in your fog machine to make it work. Those are the items we're going to use today. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to build out that second box and get to it. So I took it all apart and realized it would work the way it was. I just needed to change the orientation inside here. So that's what I did. Let me go ahead and put it back together so you can see how it's assembled, and let's move on from there. I wish I wouldn't overthink things too much. It drives me crazy. that's really all there is to assembling this. Hook up your power supply appropriately. Wire your input line from your bilge fan, and that's about it. The bilge fan's going to come in here in the bottom right here, and yeah, that's everything that needs to be wired. Plug these guys in and you're set. I do have to put a hole in there for this, which is the ultrasonic light, so let me go ahead and drill that hole. I'll put it right here in the side. That bit, if you don't have them, Amazon sells them. Just push it in. You can see which one is. So I'm going to drill up to the one below the white line. I made a determination where I want to put it. Okay, so all the glands are in place, all the penetrations are done. Looks like the box is done. Next time we get in here, we'll be hooking it all up. I chose to use wire nuts here because this is a fully waterproof box. Some people may not like that, but you know what? For this application, they're just fine. It's not high voltage, it's low voltage. It's going to give me what I need. I wanted the ability to be able to put the wires in and out of the box without having to have connectors and stuff. So this is the simplest way. I originally had done something like these connectors and thought, what difference does it make? Just put the wire through a gland nut and put wire nuts on it. This was a, oh, David is overthinking it moment. So we all do it, and that's a prime example. Let's get to the next step. We got to determine where this is going to mount. These lines here are water level inside the container. So I want to make sure that the bottom of the fan is higher than the water level is going to be between here and here. So that tells me where I have to mount this. So I need to drill a hole here and drill a hole here, about there and about there. Okay, mounts in. I'll grind those heads of those screws off later. They don't bother me right now. So at this point, we're ready to cut our hole in there. Let me go get my Dremel tool and plastic bit, and we'll go ahead and cut. This is the Dremel bit you'll use. It's a spiral bit, but it cuts plastic, wood, and everything else. I'm going to put that in my Dremel, and then I'll use it. This will be used as the guide for how I cut the hole. So let me go ahead and get that set up. There we go. Now we slide the bilge through, the bilge pump, just like that, and then put 2 screws to hold it down. One thing I did to try and help with leakage is I'm going to put a seal on this piece of an inner tube from a wheelbarrow. The rubber will seal it on the back side, so you don't have to worry about leakage. There you go. That seals it out, so you don't have to worry about fog. And I'll cut off the excess here in a second. Let me mount the bilge fan down, and get that in position, and trim this excess rubber off that's not needed on the back. We now have an airtight seal for the bilge fan and into the box. Let me go ahead and get that mounted. So here I've already cut the hole in the top of the box. I did it off screen. I'm trying to determine the length, the overall length of the output pipe, or excuse me, input pipe from the fog machine into the container. So I'm trying to determine how deep it needs to go before I cut it. So what I'm going to do is mark it, if I can find my marker. Oh, there it is on the ground. Found my marker. Mark it, and I'm going to go off screen and I'm going to cut it. And hopefully I get it the right length the first time, but there's always another way to cut it again. So there you go. So now I have the pipe cut to length, and I'm putting a sleeve on, which gives me the ability to adjust the height depending on the fog machine. You can see it goes through the hole very easily and will seal up perfectly on the top of the lid. Okay, I went ahead and cut it off to length. The bottom sits just above where the water level is going to be, maybe within an inch. These are slip sleeves I created out of fittings. It's because I don't know exactly the height of my inlet for my fog machine yet, but that'll give me the ability to adjust where it goes up and down, determine if we're in the right area. Once I get that fog machine, I'll be able to glue these fittings down and everything is done for the inside of the box. That's how you cut the box, how you mount the bilge fan. The inlet and the outlet will be on the bilge fan. Let's go ahead and get that working and get everything wired up and the box mounted and see where we're at from there. So off camera, I went ahead and drilled the holes in the tote and the holes through the box in the back where I can mount the control box to the tote and everything's together in one piece. Let me go ahead and put those screws in there and get right back with you. Okay, I've gone ahead and got the box all mounted up. The switch is in for the motor, fan motor. The two power supplies are plugged up. I cable tied them to the bottom. The bottom one's bolted in. All the power connections are done. I used ferrules. I used ferrules on that one. I used wire nuts on these other ones. Again, this is a waterproof box, so it shouldn't be a problem. And I think that's everything. Let me plug it in, see if this works. So I got everything wired up. You can see the fan motor hooked to that gland. The ultrasonic hooked to this gland over here and goes up into the tote on the right. As I said, I was going to use wire nuts there because this is a waterproof box, not going to bother anything to have them there. In a minute, I'll secure everything inside the box. Let me plug it in and show you what it does. There's the ultrasonic, the fan motor. It's pulling out what the ultrasonic's putting out. That's just cold mist, so let's put this on here. So that's what it pulls out. You can change the fan motor speed, of course, for more or for less. The next thing I need to do is get the smoke machine out here and set it up on top and show you what the output looks like. But that's it, all running, all wired, all ready to go. Only thing missing is the smoke machine. Let me go up in the attic and get that and we'll run it and see what it looks like. Okay, here it all is all running. This is just one of the fog machines I put on it just for this test. You see the fan running. Notice it is dripping water, as I mentioned earlier. Drill holes in it because it will be dripping water. The fan speed over here. Change it up. And here's fog. There's a lot of, or a little bit of wind today, so it's not staying around, but you can see how it's down in the ferns out in the woods at night when there's no wind. Do a lot better. So that's it. All built, ready to go. I'll take some more video when it's out in the yard, but that's the build. Please reach out to me if you have any questions on how to do this yourself. Look for our stuff on lightsonabbey.com and peruse our sequences, and if you like them, pick up one or two. Thanks for taking the time to watch this. Have a great weekend and have fun with the hobby. Bye-bye. I thought I'd give you a little bit more video showing how it output of the fog. Remember, this has an ultrasonic. If you don't want to use that and save a few bucks, you can just take water bottles frozen and put them in the water, and that'll also help create heavy fog. You can see the output's very good on this on a windy, sunny day, and it still is floating low to the ground. So good luck with building yours, and reach out to us if you need anything. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day.